Alright, Shalom. First, I want to give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai. Double honors to the apostles and elders, great millstone that rule well. Salutations to the Akim who are teaching the word in sincerity and in truth. Blessings to the elect and the remnant of Israelites who are scattered worldwide, who are predestined to be saved. This is Brother Yakal coming with a very short video. And basically, this is about, and I'm going to land back on one of the videos I did recently, all right, which was about whitewashing in, the whitewashing of our history, which is in the scriptures. I mean, this is this devil's job, to deceive, and a lot of people don't understand that when it talks about the devil, it's talking about these Edomites, man. The word devil means deceiver. All right, and these two videos that I did recently, Hollywood whitewashing part 1 and part 2, shows you all the films like Joan of Arc, all and everyone in Joan of Arc was white, and in that time in the 1400s, all right, Joan of Arc was a so-called black woman. The nobility in Europe was black. Our people, Israelites, etc. And I put also The Kingdom of Heaven in there, which is a film about the Crusades, which was our people going to the Holy Land, to fight the Arabs for our homeland, and also this film, The Last Duel. So you can watch these, if you want to, etc. But this video is about recently, a few weeks ago, there's been controversy, all right, over a play. And this is not a film, it's a play, and it's one of Shakespeare's plays called Romeo and Juliet. And they've casted Tom Holland, who is in the Spider-Man movies, so you see it here on the right, and Juliet is played by a black actress. All right, I can't remember her name, but we're gonna get into it anyway. And because they casted a black woman, there's been loads of racial abuse, all right, to the point where the production company had to bring out a statement, all right. And you know how these crackers are, they oh, this is woke and this, that, and the other, because what you have to understand is that they've whitewashed our history. So all the people that are great in history, they're always so-called Caucasians. All right, even the one you call Jesus Christ, they've made him into a so-called white man. Well, actually, Jesus Christ is a white man. That's not our Lord and Savior. Our Lord and Savior is Yahweh Shai. All right, but also the film Prince of Persia, which was the main character was Jake Gyllenhaal. I mean, talking about the Prince of Persia. Persians are Iranians today. No one had a problem with that, but everyone's got a problem with a Juliet being played by a black woman, and they've been really nasty with it as well, man. Real nasty with it. And that's why the ones of our women, all right, that you are not in this truth and you love these people, you're gonna die with them in these last days. And the Lord knows how to punish his people. The way you die, all right, the Lord might make it ironic where the people that you love, these Edomites, they're the ones that are going to be killing many of our people in these last days when all hell breaks loose. All right, and this woman has got so much abuse online and letters, even death threats. Okay, so we're going to show a video of that, but this basically goes into Revelations chapter 20, verse 1 to 3, which I did a breakdown of that in those two videos. All right. And this is about us ruling Europe, okay? Like Revelations 20 and 1. I saw an angel come down from heaven having a key to the bottomless pit. And the bottomless pit is Europe, because it doesn't have many natural resources. It doesn't matter how far down you dig, all right? You ain't going to get that fresh new minerals in the soil. That's why many things, especially today in Europe, has to be imported, all right? So when it says a key is representation of locking someone up, okay, and the great chain in his hand. The chain represents slavery, okay. And verse 2, laid hold on the dragon, that old serpent, the same serpent that was in the Garden of Eden, which is the devil and Satan. All right. And when it says Satan, Satan means adversary. All right. So this one's not talking about the spiritual demon Satan, because the spiritual demon Satan is a minister on the left-hand side of the Heavenly Father, doing the Lord's bidding. That's what these stupid dummies, Satanists, don't understand. They're getting played. The Lord's playing them, and bound him 1,000 years. All right. And that was us ruling roughly from 325 AD, all right, to the 1300s. All right, verse 3, and cast him into the bottomless pit and shut him up and put a seal upon him, that he should deceive the nations no more, till 1,000 years should be fulfilled, and after that he may be loosed a little season. All right. And that period of time he came out was the Renaissance period, when they started coming back into power. Now there's a video about this case. All right, gonna watch it. Okay, and this is it just shows you how they feel about us. All right, it basically shows you the hatred and disdain they have for us. You know, they don't mind if you're in movie roles and you're eating fried chicken and being stereotypical, making them laugh. They don't mind about that. They got no problem with that. Okay. And now, let's see now, this one here, I think it's this one. This one. Let's watch this. I think it's this one here. Because we have to understand is that they got deep hatred in their heart for us, okay? You're going to watch this clip, you know, about it, and it's going to show you the kind of reactions that have been happening because of this thing. Okay.
Production is, are you breathing? Hey, wake up. Anybody who pretends to not know what they're doing here, really? She's that pretty? She's iconic Shakespearean. Yourself as a rich prince without even checking her pulse pretty. Like, this is meant to be like a dividing thing for people. Half of the population is just gonna go, yay, we can't say anything about this, this is great. And then the other half is gonna go, why is Chadwick Boseman playing Juliet? And then those two groups are gonna fight, and one group's gonna call the other racist, and the other group is gonna call the other insane and brainwashed. And then that's how you're going to promote your movie, yeah. And if it works for people where they just go, yeah, this is normal, this is reality, this makes sense. It's like basically being a rich king who rules over a village. And you take a cup, a silver cup, and you put it in the center of town. You tell everybody, you're not going to touch this, right? I'm going to walk away, and none of you are going to touch this. Because I have such control over your reality, I can put something obvious right in front of you, and you're not even going to know, and you're too scared to say anything. And the thing that you're too scared to say is that she should not be playing Juliet. Like, come on.
See?
Like,
and they've got a problem, basically, because she's black. That's all it's got to. It doesn't matter whether they put in a woman that looked like Beyonce. The main problem is because she's black. That's the main problem that they have. All right? With this. Okay? And the main problem is that when their 1,000-year period was up, all right, it said they'll be loose a little season, all right. But it says in the scripture that when the Lord shut them up, it said what? That he should deceive the nations no more. And what they've done, they've deceived the whole world by doing something called iconoclasm or whitewashing. All right, taking all the characters of the past, especially ours, and whitewashing it. Now, Romeo and Juliet was a play by William Shakespeare. All right, William Shakespeare is a so-called black man. He was a black man, an Israelite. All right. Now you can put black William Shakespeare and click images, and someone from the National Portrait Gallery, where they have all our original paintings of our people ruling the Middle Ages, someone leaked this out. You know, and it might have been an Edomite person that did it. All right. So as you can see, William Shakespeare, he got a receding hairline there and the afro hair. That's the real William Shakespeare. But what did they do afterwards? They whitewashed it. So when he came out of loose a little season, he went back to doing his job. Okay. And why do you think William Shakespeare made the play Othello? Okay. Why do you think he made this play? Othello. You know? And Othello was about a so-called black man. All right? See, so that's the deception. And because they think that they're all these greats in history, it gives them this superiority complex when they're not superior whatsoever. All right? So this goes into the scriptures, and if you look at again the deceptions that they've done, one of the worst things that they did through Michelangelo in Renaissance art is to make this 16th chapel bullshit. I mean, look at this picture. That is supposed to be the Most High on the right, and this is Adam on the left. You know, a white man with a little penis. Why would you actually even make something like that? You know, absolutely disgusting. But that's the way they've done. They've deceived the nations by doing all this whitewashing. Okay, and that's why they have this reaction. But the reason why they have this reaction, because they have nothing but hatred in the heart for our people, man. And there's another good example I've shown you. I'm going to show you right now is the Little Mermaid film that came out about a year ago or whatever. They did the same thing, and the black actress got loads of abuse. Loads of abuse, man. You know, to the point where they even made they even made an Instagram page boycotting the film, and they were saying things like the Little Mermaid is going to be eating Kentucky Fried Chicken. That's what they think of you black women, okay? Yeah.
This video of the Little Mermaid remake featuring a black Ariel. In fact, they were so angry they gave it 3 million dislikes.
See, 3 million dislikes.
This is wrong. They say it doesn't follow the original version. That this is not the Little Mermaid people grew up with.
And first of all, mermaids are not real. So does it matter whether the mermaid is white or black? But they have hatred in their heart for you Israelites, man. Okay, now we're going to fast forward it. All right, because one of the points that this guy's make is true. If people are accustomed to what they've been exposed to. All right, now look at these young black kids and their reaction to the Little Mermaid.
Go with someone black. Well, maybe these kids could give you the answer.
You hear that? She goes, she's like me. And that's why when people say color doesn't matter, all right, oh, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter whether Jesus is black or white. They've only got a problem with the one you call Jesus Christ, and that's their Lord and Savior. All right, our Lord and Savior is Yahweh Shai. They've only got a problem. All right, they've only got a problem with it if he's depicted as the Bible describes as being a so-called black man. But we never complained, and our people are still not complaining that Jesus is portrayed as a white person. Exodus, God and Kings, Moses portrayed as a white person. You know, when Moses put his hand in his bosom, you know, and it was leprous, and then he put it back, and it became as his other flesh. Notice in the film 10 Commandments, all right, you know, which was done in the 50s, I think it was, they left out that scene because Charlton Heston played Moses, and he was a so-called white man. You see, they had no problem with it. Okay? But the one thing that this does, all right, for our people is representation is very important. Okay?
Regardless of her skin color, the pride the black kids can feel once they see someone who looks like them is a main character on the big screen.
That's right.
And millions of dreams that this movie will inspire among the next generation. In the trailer, the Black Little Mermaid sings,
see? Now, could you imagine an Edomite woman singing like that? They wouldn't be able to carry it off. All right? So over the years, we've had no problem with all these characters being white. You know, but they have a problem with it. So it just shows you their mindset. All right, their mindset is that they are at the top, and everyone else, especially us, is at the bottom. How dare the Little Mermaid be black? How dare Juliet be played by a black woman? To the point where they had to bring out a statement, man. They had to bring out a statement. I've got the statement here, I think it is. All right. This is an article here about this play. And it's a play in England, a stage play at the Duke of York Theatre. All right. And the Duke of York was a title that we instituted when we were ruling this country in the Middle Ages, and it's been passed down from one generation to another. And this is on theguardian.com. Too much to bear. Black actors condemn racial abuse of Romeo and Juliet star. Okay. More than 800 performers signed a letter of solidarity after Francesca Amawuda Rivers was targeted online. And you can see that she's an Israelite woman because look at her name. Amawuda. Alright? Judah. Amawuda. She's definitely Nigerian with that name. Alright? Alright, let's go down now. Let's hear a bit more. Alright, more than 800 predominantly black, female, and non-binary actors have signed an open letter in solidarity to Francesca Amawuda Rivers, who have been targeted with online racial abuse after the announcement of her casting in a new production of Romeo and Juliet. Alright, let's go down here a bit more. Let's read this bit. Too many times black performers, particularly black actresses, are left to face a storm of online abuse after committing the crime of getting a job on their own. All right, so look, it came to the point where she auditioned, she was the best person, and she got the job. What's the problem with that? All right, it comes after a statement by Jamie Lloyd Theatre Company condemning the barrage of deplorable racial abuse that has been directed at Amawuda Rivers, saying further harassment would be reported. So she's gone through a hell of a lot of things. They've been cursing her out, and you've had coconuts online actually agreeing with this wicked madness, man. And that's why all you coconuts, you're going to perish in these last days. All right. And this is not, so you saw the clip of the Little Mermaid, 3 million dislikes. You know why? Because they dislike us. This is a reoccurring theme, to the point where even our children, they can't even hide their hatred towards even our children, man. All right. And when you look at the 16th chapel, which was done by Michelangelo, that painting in the Renaissance period, that really goes into 2 Thessalonians 2. All right, where you can start from verse 3, where it says that man of sin be revealed. But it says here, look, in verse 4, who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called God, or that is worshipped, so that he as God sitteth in the temple of God, showing himself that he is God. All right, and the best example is the 16th chapel. All right, that's in the Vatican, which was shamefully made by our people. All right, so when you look in the book of Revelations, and it talks about in many different scriptures the false prophet, that is the Roman Catholic Church. And unfortunately, we started that madness. All right, but when they took over the Renaissance, look what they did. And that's how you know that they made this painting. Why would you make a big naked man with a tiny penis like that? That's supposed to be Adam, and on the right supposed to be the Most High. So that goes into that, man. Now, their hatred is so visceral towards us. All right. Here's another example of the hatred they have even towards our children, man. All right.
A man who played a Disneyland character for a decade is questioning several claims of racism made against characters at the popular attraction. 10 News broke 2 stories that went viral last week, including a lawsuit filed by a Spring Valley family claiming a character from Alice in Wonderland avoided touching a 4-year-old African-American child.
Team 10 investigator Michael Chen looks at why one ex-performer says racism isn't the only possible explanation.
Really?
One of the performers who knows what it's like claims of racism.
I'm so angry at this. I don't want to see another rabbit head.
That was 9-year-old Elijah Black last week after his family filed a lawsuit claiming Black, his brother, and 2 cousins, seen here smiling for photos, were turned away when they tried to reach out to hold hands and hug the White Rabbit character at Disneyland, only to see the rabbit hugging and kissing an Asian and white child after they left.
What's hurting me the most is to see my kids in pain.
The Spring Valley family is one of 2 families now making claims of discrimination. The stories inspired a flood of calls and emails, including one from Tim, an ex-Disneyland performer, who for a decade beginning in the late 80s became very familiar with Pluto.
So they basically, in one of these costumes, ignored the black children and wouldn't hug them and kiss them, you know, like they did the white kids. So that falls into the same category as what this woman is getting. Nothing but hatred, you know, no love whatsoever. And that's why our people, that you love these people, you have a mental illness, man. Even our children, you know, they don't even want to touch him. You know why? Because they, through this whitewashing, through this deception of history, all right, they actually think they're better than us and everyone else when they are the basis of men. All right. Here's a recent one as well, another one. All right. And
All the internet business.
this one was a footballer called Conor Gallagher. All right. When you watch football or soccer, you call it in America. All right. You have mascots, and this black mascot went to high five him. He saw him and ignored him.
Circulating on the internet, and it's something that you just can't ignore, especially if you're an African or a black person. You just can't. There's this clip of a football player. His name is Conor Gallagher. Right? He deliberately refused to shake the hand of the little black boy, and a lot of people were saying, "Oh, you know, there was also another black man who refused to shake the hand of the little black boy."
No, that's not. They're trying to say that this guy here, this is Raheem Sterling. He's an Israelite from the tribe of Benjamin. All right, he's turned this way, and he's shaking someone else's hand. All right, and this guy that he's shaking his hand, the guy in the pink, was his former teammate. And this is the little Israelite kid here. So he didn't see the Israelite kid. But this devil here, Conor Gallagher, saw him, man. And we're going to look at it right now. Watch this. Look, he sees the little Edomite kid smiling at him. All right. And now his eye contact is with this black kid. All right. With him. And the black kid wants to high five him. Look what happens. All right. Now he does put this right hand on his shoulder, but look at his face and look what he does. He just ignores him. He keeps him hanging. Look. Wow, man. See, he sees him. Nah, I don't want to touch your hand. You see? Nah, I don't want to touch your hand. Look. He leaves him hanging, man. And it's not and
Eye contact. Yeah, look. He's looking at him. Eye contact is important. But eye contact also tells you what the person's thinking. You see what I'm saying? Corner made a decision to say, I'm not going to rock with that little kid right here. I will never touch him. He's not my kind. So I think your apologies is not needed. Not needed. We know what's in your heart, Corner.
That's right.
Okay? You look directly at the kid and say, no, I'm not going to. I'm going to move on to the other kid. That's my kind right there. And after all that, this little kid still trying to get that shake from homeboy. You see what I'm saying? And Corner was like,
nah.
Cool. You went to go shake the other kid. The kid, I think the other kid is behind homie right. This little kid right here.
Yeah.
But he said, you know what, little kid, I don't want nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
People want to accept his apology. Nah, bro. Nah, I couldn't. We are wondering, what is Chelsea gonna do? This is 2024, the year of the truth. We get to see what everybody's all about. Okay, and Corner, we know what's in your heart, brother. Okay.
That's right. He purposely ignored this child, man. And this is a child, man. All right. Oh, you're over exaggerating. This is, you know, it all ties in with what the scriptures say about them. This is one more clip. And a similar incident happened in Ireland, all right, and not Northern Ireland, Republic of Ireland, a few years ago, where this black girl, young black girl gymnast, they were giving out medals, and the Edomite woman didn't give the black girl a medal. All right. There you go. Everyone's getting medals. Look.
It's painful to actually state and know the obvious. My daughter was the only black child in that competition. She stood out well. There was no excuse for what happened. She
Yep.
felt very upset about what happened. It's more like they almost blamed her for being black.
Everyone got a medal except her. Look, they're all supposed to get medals.
Very uncomfortable. I actually yelled from far.
When I got back home, we saw the video and all of that. It was like, did it really happen? I couldn't really believe that did happen.
See? So everyone gets a medal, all right, but they just ignored the black girl. And it's an Edomite woman, you see? So what does that actually show you, man? It shows you that they have hatred for us to the point where they don't care. Even, the pretense that they say is, oh, I ain't racist, I got black friends. My boyfriend's black. That all that stuff don't matter, man. As I said, Halle Berry had a white husband, all right, and in her divorce proceedings, she said in the court that in heated arguments, her husband called her the N-word, all right, more than one occasion. I mean, this is a woman that you have a child with, and Halle Berry had a daughter with this guy. She's divorced from him now, and she said that when her daughter goes and stays with the father, all right, when her daughter's hair is braided, the father would undo the braids. What does that show you? It shows you that they have nothing but hatred in their heart for us, all right. So when it comes down to the prophecy in the Bible of them being loose a little season, they've deceived the nations, deceived themselves to thinking that they're better than everyone, all right. But it all boils down to one thing: hatred, man. All right. They have nothing but hatred for us, man. And when you go to Ezekiel 35:1, all right, it's talking about the Edomites, man. Moreover, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, all right, Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it. All right, and Mount Seir was a place in Jordan, which is the original homeland of the Edomites, because everything started. All the nations really used to live in that area where Israel is and the Fertile Crescent, and the Edomites had their homeland in what we call modern day Jordan today. All right. Verse 3: Thus saith the Lord God, behold, Mount Seir, I am against thee, and I'll stretch my hand against thee, and I'll make it desolate. And that's what the Lord is going to do. All right. And in that period, and when the Lord destroys these people, we're going to be rejoicing, because the amount of pain and hurt that they've put upon us, all right, all the deceptions that they've done since they've been loose a little season, has made our people to have an inferiority complex. That's why you forgive them when they do something wicked to you, but you would never forgive your own people. And that's why the ones of our people that are not in this truth, all right, they need to be destroyed, because they're out of their mind. In verse 4, I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate. All right, the Lord is going to lay their cities waste in this third world war, man. All right, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord. Now, why is the Lord going to do this? He says what? Verse 5, because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, perpetuated for us, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time their iniquity had an end. All right, so we were already punished by the Lord for not keeping his law, statute, commandments, but they forwarded our affliction, like the scriptures said. And one of the ways they did that is through iconoclasm, whitewashing everything. So when you look at this case, all right, of this whole Romeo and Juliet scandal, all right, that proves that they are the biblical Edomites, man. All right, and their latter end, when the Heavenly Father sends His Son, all right, in the middle of the Third World War and destroys all these other nations, all right, and they all are slaves and tributaries. After 1,000 years of hardcore labor and bondage under us kicking their ass for 1,000 years, they're gonna be done away with, pursued to the book of Obadiah. All right. Everyone else, all these other nations are all gonna get some kind of mercy, but they're the only ones that are not gonna get any mercy, man. All right. After that 1,000-year period, they're gonna be done away with, and good riddance to them. You know, and the ones of you that actually want to stick up for them, they got so much hatred in their heart, even for our children, man. All right. Obadiah 1:18, and the house of Jacob shall be a fire, and the house of Joseph shall be a flame, northern and southern kingdom, and the house of Esau for stubble, and they shall kindle in them and devour them, and there shall not be any remaining of the house of Esau, for the Lord has spoken it. So I'm with the Lord's plan. Ask yourself whether you are with the Lord's plan. All right. And there's no point sending support and solidarity for this Jake woman, all right, and giving her encouragement and sticking up for her if you don't want to see the downfall of your enemies, man. Because until they go down, they're always going to have a hatred for us, and they're always going to exalt themselves as they are God, all right? And that's why anytime you see any of our people in main characters and roles, all right, they have a problem with it. And there's a new film, Captain America, all right, and the black guy that's in the Avengers, you know, with the wings, I can't remember his name, he's going to be playing Captain America. They're going to have a problem with that as well, all right? So I'll leave it at that. I hope you're edified. To the next one. Shalom.